Hey everyone, Timothy here, aka FCFan21, and I can happily say I am finally back. So, can I please get a round of applause for me being back? No, really? Nothing? No enthusiasm at all? Okay, whatever. Um, I am happy to say I'm back. It's been a rough couple of months, honestly. Um, for a little update and me just rambling on for I think 30 minutes. Go check out the update video I posted a couple of weeks ago. I'm back from my holiday, and during the end of that holiday, the MMC, formerly known as the Mighty Mythical Colosseum, now Months of Mischief and Chaos Draft League, started their draft, and yeah, I am very happy to say I joined the Showdown division. I had an option of going into the Wi-Fi division, but I pretty soon found out my laptop does not go well with a Switch emulator, so yeah, that would have been a nightmare to produce, I think, so yeah. We stuck with the Showdown division. But we did get first seed, and I'm not sure if I am very happy with getting first seed in the end, because yeah, I got sniped round 2 already, and I got sniped a lot, honestly. So but let's not have a look at what we didn't get. Let's start off what we did get. And I started the draft off with maybe a controversial first pick, but it is something that I wanted to use for over a year now, and that is the Great Tusk pick. There we go. Great Tusk, aka Sabaton, a phenomenal physical mon with 131 base attack and defense, 115 HP. Makes it pretty bulky. Special defense with 53 isn't all that great, but put an AV on it and it can even be a special wall. And 87 speed is really something workable. Only ability is photosynthesis. And Great Tusk is like very versatile. I mean, it can just be a all-out attacker with both close combat and headlong rush, having fighting and ground stab, and 120 base power move is just awesome. Honestly, that this thing can just nuke things. It has access to Rapid Spin and Stealth Rock, so it can be both a hazard setter and a hazard removal option. Damn it. Yeah, that throat thing is still going on, by the way. It gives me an electric immunity right off the bat. Something that can really take on rock hits. And depending on the set, you just have a lot of options in item in item slot. Booster energy for a one-time boost to his highest stat. Choice scarf in case you need to really outspeed a lot of things or against a speedy opponent. Choice band just to deal big damage, just like life orb. AV, like I said, for a special defensive stat. Just a great mon overall. And after Great Tusk, I of course had to wait for the entire first round to finish, just like the entire second round, before I got to make my next 2 picks. First pick I made with a wheel choice pick was Torkoal. And let's talk about Fallout Boy here. Defensively, pretty decent, 70 HP, 70 special defense isn't all that great, but 140 physical defense makes it already very hard to break down on the physical side against me with Tusk 131, 140 Torkoal. 85 attack and special attack are also pretty workable, and yeah, 20 speed isn't just not all that great, but still gives me a second rapid spinner, and it has great synergy with the Great Tusk because of Drought. Drought being gives me Sun basically. So as soon as I switch in Torkoal, I set up Sun, I switch in Great Tusk, and it gets an automatic photosynthesis boost without having to use a booster energy, which is pretty great. With type matchup, Torkoal doesn't take rock type hits all that well, but Tusk can take those. And Tusk doesn't take the grass and the ice type moves all that well, just like fairy type moves, which the Torkoal can absorb a bit better. In terms of items, a Heat Rock is of course never out of the question. If you have a Torkoal, it's just like me having Pelipper in the BTDL in a rain team. It's just a defensive weather setter that can absorb a lot of hits and reset hazards or sun over and over. It is able to set up both rocks and spin them away, just like the Tusk. So in the hazard department, I already feel kind of fine, honestly. My other pick was Heatran, and in the end, I decided to drop Heatran, and yeah, I'll come back to that in the end because my grace period picks are in the end. So if you're wondering, you don't talk about your second pick in your first wheel pick, that's because it's got dropped. In these third and fourth round, I did get sniped. This first snipe I got was the Walking Wake, being taken by Theros King or Empoleon Legion. This round I was sniped with Volcarona, I think, in the third round, because Volcarona in Sun would have been phenomenal. But hey, it is what it is. In the end, I settled... no, I did not settle on it. I picked up Tangrowth, aka Linkin Park. Tangrowth is something that is very versatile already for the things that I have drafted. Let's talk about stats first. 100 in HP and attack is of course already very decent. 125 physical defense makes it a fantastic physical wall, just like the other two. 110 special attack makes it hard to predict if it's going to be a physical or a special attacker. And 50 base def and speed isn't all that great. What does make Tangrowth very great in this instance is it has Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll boosts your speed stat, basically doubling it, as long as sun is shining on the field. And with me having Torkoal, that can work out pretty fine. On the other hand, it has Regenerator, so it can switch out and get back a third of its HP. So I can go for an offensive Tangrowth set, going full attack or special attack and max speed, and just outspeed a lot of things without a scarf, and even things with a scarf, by the way. Or I can just go defensively with Regenerator and healing a lot of health back by switching out. Items to run on this: Rocky Helmet, of course, for a physical wall, an Assault Vest for a special defensive wall. I can run Life Orb in Sun, and Other attacking boosting items are also very possible. Yeah, depending on what opponents I have, I could run berries, of course, to reduce damage. Yeah, just a lot of options, again, with tank growth. And that's something I tried to do during the entire draft. Damn it. Just drafting mons that have a lot of options in sun and without sun. So my next mon is my first Terra Captain, I believe, because this year the MMC, or this season, the MMC does run a Terra league for the first time. So I picked up something that I was really surprised of, that it was allowed to even terrestrialize. For 9 points I picked up Muse, aka Minior. Why am I so surprised? Minior is in his core form, or in his shield up form, not all that impressive. 60 HP, attack, special attack and speed aren't all that great. And 100 defense and special defense is decent. With it being flying and rock does, yeah, you can see the type chart, give it 5 weaknesses and 6 resistances and 1 or immunities. So that's pretty decent, but could be worse and could be better. And when it gets below half health, it gets his shield down ability activated. His protective shell falls away, and his defense is dropped to base 60, with his attack, special attack being raised to 100, and his speed is basically doubled. During shield down, with his protective, his outside shell up, he is protected from status, I believe. So basically you have to break down the outer shell to make it more offensive and for it to really do damage, but also for my opponents to be able to status it. And even though this thing isn't Terra banned, they still decide to not even put up a note that I can't use Shell Smash on this thing. So basically I can run a Shell Smash with White Herb option, because I don't need to run Lumberry with my shield up. Click Shell Smash, get dropped below half health. The outer core breaks, I get way more offensive, and basically go to town with a +2 attack, special attack and speed, coming from 100 attack stats and 120 speed stat. Flying and rock already gives me great coverage into a lot of typings. I decided for flying over rock because it combined well with the grass and ground terra typing that I decided to put on this. Ground for electric types that I normally would have a hard time hitting. Rock types are normally hard to hit, which I can use ground typing on. Steel types would be hard, so again ground. Water I did not have much for, so I went for a grass terra type. Just like ground, I did not have much for ground, so grass. Yeah, most types I can hit super effectively now with all these typings. So I am very happy to pick up Minior. This was my second pick before in a wheel pick, so I had to wait a long time. And after that I decided to pick up my Mega Pokemon in Mega Beedrill. On paper my speed stat was a bit lacklustering at this point. Yeah, because Great Tusk, Torkoal and Tangrowth did not get above 100 base speed. Minior did hit 120, but that's only in a score form, not with shield up. So I decided to go for a very fast Mega Pokemon in Mega Beedrill. Mega Beedrill has basically two stats that I am really looking at. 150 in attack, 145 in speed. I see I forgot to change the ability. It's not shield down, of course, because that's Miniors. Mega Beedrill has the ability Adaptability. That means if you use a stab option, so on Beedrill the poison or bug type, it does not get a 1.5 boost for being stabbed, but it gets a 2 times boost. So basically, Mega Beedrill hits you with a super effective move if it uses a poison or bug type attack. Why is this so important? Well, because Mega Beedrill can use U-turn, which means you will always be hit with a super effective U-turn. This thing hits like a dump truck, honestly, and yeah, just very happy to pick it up. I do have a very physical... I hit very hard on the physical side, but on the special side, not all that hard so far. Mainly because Heatran is... It was there, but not at this point, of course. So I decided to go even more on the physical side with Alomomola, aka Disturbed. Alomomola pairs very well with Tangrowth because of Regenerator. An Alomomola and Tangrowth Regenerator core is, I believe, it should be illegal, but I have it, so I'm not complaining there. Alomomola 165 HP. Stat is amazing as a Wish Passer because, Wish Passing happens with the HP stat from the Pokemon that uses Wish, and Alomomola being a very high HP mon, which basically means you can fully heal something after switching in. So that's nice. 75 attack and 80 defense makes it pretty decent on the physical side. 80 defense isn't something to scoff about. 45 special defense is not that great, but I know from experience that even if you pump a lot of special defensive EVs in it, it can take a hit. It does get Flip Turn, which gives me some more momentum, because at this point I have U-turn on Beedrill and Flip Turn on Alomomola. And this thing pairs very well with the Tangrowth because Alomomola has two weaknesses as a bulky water type, Electric and Grass, and Tangrowth resists both Electric and Grass. Tangrowth has a Fire weakness and an Ice weakness that Alomomola blocks, so basically I can, if I play my cards right, they cover each other's weaknesses pretty well. Very happy I was able to grab this defensive core, and I think this core makes my team very not only hard but also very annoying to break down, which I just love. Around this point I was looking at other Terra Captains. I know at this point Empoleon Legion, Theros King, whatever, was also building a Sun team, and we already spoke to each other like maybe we should help each other out by letting each other know what mons we were going for, and we both wanted Leafeon. In the end I decided he can have Leafeon. Wasn't really happy about it, but still I wanted I could do with other mons. Comfey was one of them. I did not have a fairy type at this point in the draft, and I really wanted something that boosted my speed stat, because again, not all that fast. Comfey, aka Volbeat, just fitted that role pretty well. It is a special defensive Pokemon with 110 special defense, and 90 physical defense is also pretty decent. 51 HP, not all that great, but it works. Flowerville Triage and Natural cures its abilities. Triage, of course, being awesome, giving Giga Drain and Draining Kiss a +3 priority. Why did I go for Comfey again? I could have gone for a plethora of fairy types, but in the end I decided on Comfey because a very niche move it has that it basically never uses in Draft League, and I'm going to use it. Comfey has basically the ability to use Growth. Growth is a attack that boosts your attack and special attack by 1 stage. But if you use Growth in Sun, you do not get a +1 boost in attack and special attack, you get a +2 boost. And I hope you think where I'm going to see that you see where I'm going with this. Basically, 1 Growth doubles my special attacking output. I can go max special attack, max speed, use a Growth in Sun, double my attack, and yeah, you better hope you have a Steel or Poison type with you, because I believe those are the two types that resist both Grass and Fairy, because Fire. You have a Fire, Poison or Steel type at this point, because Comfey will sweep at that point. If you have a Poison type, if you have a Fire type, I can also, and it's not fast enough by the way, I can also click a Stored Power with doubled my attack and 4 boosts. So yeah, Comfey is just a complete menace in Sun, I believe. And with Comfey I decided to pick up my second Terra Captain, and that one was Shiftry Blackveil Brights. Why Shiftry? Chlorophyll, basically. Shiftry was a 3.1, just like Leafeon, but Shiftry did give me a Dark and Ghost resistance. Even though it's not that bulky, from 90 HP it can take a hit. Yeah, I did not have a Ghost or Dark resist at this point, so that was pretty nice. 100 attack and 90 special attack makes it pretty hard to prep for, because you don't know if I'm going to be physical or special attacking. Chlorophyll boosted Mon. Yeah, basically 80 speed makes it very hard for basically anything to outspeed me under Sun. I can run Pickpocket as a niche option, like a substitute Citrus Berry, set, hit or get hit and take an item. I went for Terra Dark, Ground and Fairy for Shiftry. Terra Dark because yeah, I just wanted a big damage output into things like Ghost and Psychic types, which are basically the only 2 things Dark hit for super effective damage, but still. I had Grass on the Minior, so I did not felt like I needed Grass on this. Ground just because it's a phenomenal offensive typing with 5 types that it hits for super effective damage, and Fairy type for things like Dark types, that I otherwise would not be able to handle very well. Bug type moves defensively will be absorbed way better this way. Having something against fighting types. So yeah, Shiftry as my second Terra Captain. In my last wheel pick, I again picked up 2 months after being sniped by Executor, which I did not expect at all, honestly, because I was thinking like, who will pick up Executor, and yeah, I got sniped. So I had to pivot. Picked up Scovillain, which I later dropped during Grace. And my third Terra Captain in the end is Tenacious D, the Probopass. And people who see this and also are in the SBF know Probopass in my possession can be a bit of a problem. Why is that? Because I took over a team in the Shallows West Division, I believe. And Probopass is doing very well there for me. Being 8th and 0, I believe, at this point, after 2 or 3 games. So Probopass is just doing phenomenal for me. Why is that? Probopass also has Terra Steel and Terra Ghost in that league. And Terra Ghost is running wild. This mon is defensively very tanky with 145 defense, 150 special defense. It has sturdy, so even though it has 2 4 times weaknesses in fighting and ground, you can't always you can't KO it without Mold Breaker. It has Magnet Pool to trap other steel types and has coverage with moves like Earth Power to really damage other steel types. And Terra Ghost does not only take away those 4 times weaknesses to fighting and ground, but makes it immune to fighting type moves. And Body Press from 145 base defense is just amazing to click. So yeah, Probopass gives me a 3rd or 4th stealth work option at this point. Not sure if Minior does get it or not. Yeah, so great option there. By the way, defog on the Wasp, the Flower, and the whatever Shiftry is, gives me great defog options at this point, by the way. Now, I was not happy with Heatran in Grace. It felt really redundant having both Probopass, Torkoal, Scovillain, and Heatran. So I went with the most versatile weather Pokemon there is in draft, and that is Electric Callboy, the Heliolisk. Why is this thing so versatile? Well, first look at its stats. 109 speed, 109 special attack makes it a very decent special attacker. 95 special defense is also pretty well. It's a normal type and an electric type, so I did not have a fast electric type. I do have now. And I did not have a ghost immunity, which I do have now. The thing that makes this thing so great for a weather team is his abilities. It does have dry skin. Basically it takes extra fire damage, but is immune to water type moves and heals in rain. Sandville, which boosts its evasiveness in Sandstorm. And Solar Power, which gives a 50%, not sure if it's just special attack or also physical attack, but it gives a 50% boost while in Sun. Coming from 109 base special attack and a, well, above average speed of 109. Yeah, this thing will be very fun to use in Sun. And second, I picked up Johnny Cash, aka Blacephalon. Why did I go for Blacephalon? I did not have a spin blocker. First of all, and this thing is a ghost type, so this thing is a spin blocker. It has 107 base speed and 151 special attack. Besides ghost, it's a fire type. So his step fire type moves will be boosted by the sun. And every time it gets a kill, because his special attack clearly is the highest, every time this thing gets a kill, his special attack will be boosted by 1 stage. So a Blacephalon against the right team can really run out of hand very quickly. So yeah, that's the team. This are all the stats and typings and support moves that my team has. Some decent HP stats with Allo, Tangrowth and Great Tusk having high HP stats. My physical attack stat is really off the charts. 94 average, 150 Mega Beedrill, 100 Minior Core. Blacephalon even gets a 127 physical attack stat. So I can always run physical Blacephalon if I want to joke. Tusk 131, Shift Tree 100, Tangrowth 100, Torkoal 85, so that's pretty well. My physical defensive side is pretty on point as well. Comfey 90, Great Tusk 131, Tangrowth 125, Allo 80, Propass 145, Torkoal 140. I have some great special attackers in Minior, Heliolisk, Comfey, Blacephalon, Tangrowth, Torkoal. Spadef isn't the greatest, but Propass at 150, Comfey 110, Heliolisk 94, Mega Breeder even with 80. Doesn't really want to be a defensive piece, but still. And yeah, my speed tiers are pretty decent, I feel like. So yeah, really happy on the speed tier department. Sorry, jump in music because I had to take a quick call. Yeah, so stat-wise, I am very happy about the overall stats. Spadef could be a bit higher, but it's whatever. I think it's very workable. Looking at the type chart, water, ground, flying, rock weaknesses. Yeah, water is not all that bad because 2 of the 5 weaknesses can Terra out of it. With Minior even being able to make it a resist with Terra Grass, so I can even have Heliolisk with Dry Skin to be immune to water, so not really scared of that. 4 ground weaknesses, but again, Propass can Terra out of it pretty easily, so not really scared of that, and Minior has a ground immunity. Flying, 4 weaknesses over 3 resistances, but Shift Tree can Terra out of its weakness, so again, not all that worried. And Rock, 4 weaknesses with Minior again being able to Terra out of it, not all that scared of it. Somewhat of an ice weakness, but Shift Tree and Minior can Terra out of it. Fighting, Propass and Shift Tree can Terra out of it, so again, I'm not really that worried about my weaknesses. I have dual typings in Fire, Grass and Rock. Yeah, Rock being somewhat of a... Okay, since when do I have 2 rock types? But then I realized Minior and Propass are both rocks, so... dual Grass in Tangrowth and Shift Tree, of course, and dual Fire in Blacephalon and Torkoal. So yeah, the fire types I don't really mind because they have completely different roles. Torkoal being more defensive Sunsetter and Blacephalon more of an offensive Sun Abuser. Tangrowth and Shift Tree being dual both grass I don't really mind with both having chlorophyll. And yeah, Probopass and Minior again both have completely different roles. Minior being more of a setup sweeper, and Probopass more being a bulky, more of a bulky boy. Hazard department, 3 rockers, 2 toxic spikes, pretty decent. 5 hazard removal options in 3 defoggers and 2 rapid spinners. 5 mons that can have pivoting options, and not sure if anything gets Baton Pass or teleport on this team, but whatever. Wish support from the LO, bunch of knockoff, couple of T-Wavers, Willow Whispers, a lot of Toxic of course, and even have a Heal Baller in the Comfey. So yeah, basically this is the team for this season. I'm really looking forward to it because I don't think this team is all that bad. I don't think it's probably I don't think this is the best team in the league. But I do think I have a lot of cool options and a lot of cool pieces to make use of this season. So yeah, really looking forward to it. I believe we are officially at this point still in Grace, so I don't know who my week 1 opponent is gonna be, but I do hope I can put that video out next week. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you all in week 1, and I hope I can put out another video this week. Yeah, what that video will be, I'm gonna leave that up to your imagination, but I do hope to see you there if it drops this week. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you have